welcome to Terry Tuesday, where we're going to go after Horseshoe Indianapolis on this Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Terry, how are you feeling today?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good, but this going to be a long one. It's 12 races at Horseshoe Indianapolis today.
Oof, it's going to be a long one. All right, last night,
Okay.
real quick, if you didn't get a chance to, Terry, did you check out trainer Kent Sweezy and the return of our Jamie Martinez with the always magnificent, incredible? Couldn't it be any better, Sean?
I absolutely did, and that trainer, he's really honest and forthcoming, and I really enjoyed the show. It was an hour with him on, and it went right by it. Before I knew it, the hour was gone. So, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, we try our best to get great guests. And Jamie, she handles the week she's in. Sean handles the weeks I'm in because I'm too, too busy, unconnected, whatever you want to call it. Those two are on the inside. We're just on the outside trying to make horse racing picks. Those two know everybody in the business. So if there's anybody you want to know, reach out to Sean and let him know, or Jamie. They'll get in contact. Have them on the show. You can catch tonight's show, Terry, as well. That'll be at 8 o'clock this evening on Horse Racing Radar TV. The best way to make sure you don't miss it is hit the subscribe button while you're here, and you will see jockey Maddie Rowland. We had her on the show once before, Sean and I. She's down there at Tampa Bay Downs now, the home of Jamie and Willie, and she was just a straight-up kick-ass guest last time she was on, too. So this is going to be a fantastic Horse Center week. You don't want to miss any of that by making sure you hit the subscribe button while you're here on YouTube. And at the same time, follow us on our social sites below, just like Razor Sharp Picks does. And he's another guy you want to catch out. Very entertaining young man. I don't know, Razor, where can folks watch you, man? Put that stuff on the comments. I'll make sure that they can reach out to you as well. You ready to go for Horseshoe Indianapolis, Terry, today?
Absolutely.
As you mentioned, boy, this one is going to be a marathon. 11 thoroughbred races, one quarter horse race at the end. Race number 1, Terry. Let me put the banner up in here so we know where we are. Race 1, 6 furlongs, claiming a $10,000, purse is $16,000. The profile of a 6 furlong winner at the Indiana course looks a little bit like this. You want a horse that does have some early speed. Post positions really don't play into who wins as much as they do at other tracks. Kind of fair. And the first race. Yes, I'm doing it right now. I remembered from yesterday, Terry. But we see here a couple scratches in race number 1. We got the first level of scratches, the first wave. If there's more, we may not know until the show's over. But E-horses want to be your pilots, EP, co-pilot, or pilot. P-horses are pilot, co-pilot horses, usually within 2 lengths of the leader at the quarter-mile marker. PC horses are co-pilots and those who ride and coach. They want to sneak up to the front in first class, and the closers are always in coach trying to sneak up into first class. We look at the way this race shapes up early on. We see that the 8-horse and the 9-horse squared off have the most early speed. Terry, you're coming out of the barn just flat out swinging with your long shot of the day. Who is it?
Yeah, I like the number 5-horse, Holiday Ticket. He has finished in the money in the last 3 races at Horseshoe Indianapolis. He won one of those starts. He has a trainer-jockey combination who in the last 14 days has finished in the money in 4 out of 8 starts and won 2 of those races.
Let me ask you a question, Terry. It's 15-1. Do you think it's just mispriced, or what do you think's going on there?
Yeah, I do. I don't think it's going to go off at 15-1. In my opinion, I think it's going to be less.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to wait and see. I was really surprised it was 15-1 on the morning line. So
I was just wondering if it's mispriced or maybe they know something we don't. But anyway,
they could. Anyway, I'm gonna play that horse. But number 4 is my second pick, Complex Justice. He likes the track finishing in the money 59% of his starts, winning 15% of those races. He likes this distance as he's been in the money 80% of his starts, so he's always there. Number 3 is my third pick, Golden Tone. He comes in from Hawthorne to try Horseshoe Indianapolis for the first time, and he takes a really big drop in class today. And then number 9, Prince Act. He has finished in the money in 5 out of the last 6 races and finished second in his last race. Has a jockey in the last 7 days, have been in the money 10 out of 18 starts, winning 5 of those, 4 seconds and a third.
I'm going to go ahead with the 4-horse Complex Justice as my first pick in here. This guy's been in the money 8 out of 10. 2 wins, 3 seconds, 3/3 at the distance. So the horse definitely likes the distance. I think it's one that's going to be involved in a race where early speed matters from beginning to end. The number 5, I wonder about this one. Holiday Ticket. Is it mispriced? I mean, 15-1 morning line coming off a race where it ran better 2 and 4 furlong pace numbers, and the fractions were sharper last time out. So I'm kind of curious why it was 15-1. I'd like to talk to the line maker there. Number 8, Vice Cop. I think this horse is going to do more in the second race off of the bench, combined with dropping multiple classes. I think this one's capable of some really big mid moves, which in these sprints is kind of what you want. The horse that can make the move on the turn. And then I'm going to round it out with number 10, Ferocity. Hopped at the start of its last race. I think this one gets a cleaner start. It's another one that in a race where early speed matters should be on the gas from go to photo. Race number 2, Terry, at Horseshoe Indianapolis, 5 furlongs. Maiden claiming $20,000. The purse is 20 grand as well. Profile of a 5 furlong winner at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Early speed, you got a barbell bonus here. So the rail gets a nice bonus. 8 and out gets a bonus. And posts 2 through 7 are a little bit under fair in terms of their performance. This race is really interesting, Terry, because you have a bookshelf, I guess. You have the 2 edges and nothing in between. And all of these horses over here, interestingly, all get NCs. So they've never been close, yet they're all dropping in class from higher levels of maiden races. So you just don't know what these are your box of chocolate horses, like they say in Forrest Gump. You don't know what you're going to get from them. But we do know is that the 2 horse here is dropping in class and has a plus advantage at 4 furlongs. So at the half-mile marker, the 2's likely to be on the lead. He also has the most late pace. So you put that together, you say to yourself, how can you pass what you can't catch, Terry? Who's going to pass him and catch him in your view?
I think that the number 7, Ocean Honey, will pass. She drops in class today. She has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to high percentage winning jockey. So they're doing everything positive to try to get this win today. Then number 2, Marseille. She drops in class today. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She could improve with Lasix being added today. Mm-hmm. And then number 1 is my third pick. That Shows She Rolls. She has an early foot, so the shorter distance is a plus, and the rail post is winning at a 23% clip. And then number 6, Taya Aldeva. She drops in class today and can improve with Lasix being added.
Hey, thanks for the thumbs up on Facebook, Vicky Torres. We appreciate that. If, like Vicky, you like what you see, thumbs up. We're always appreciated around here. Also, hit us up in the comment section like Razor. Tell us who you like today at any of the horses, any of the tracks today. If there's something that stands out to you, it's a community, share it. You know, we're all looking for more winners here, Terry and myself included. I'm going to start off with that 2 horse in race number 2, Marseille. This is a track dropper. Speed wins at the distance, has that plus early pace edge. And at 4 furlongs, catching first-time Lasix with early speed, Terry, you know that I absolutely like that combination. This one just needs to hang on for 1 furlong more. Number 1, That's How the Show Rolls. It's my second selection in race number 2. Already got the better of the 7 horse, the one that's your first pick on September the 24th. And that last race is better than it looks with the early and massive 2 and 4 furlong pace improvements and faster fractions at 7 furlongs than the 2 most recent dirt sprints, which I think were like 4.5 and 5 furlongs. So running faster fractions despite going much longer, that's usually a pretty good sign. Number 7, Ocean Honey did run the top last race speed figure, drops in from a maiden special weight 34,000, but I feel like that's a little bit deceptive because it ran at this level 2 races back and couldn't finish out. Last time it did run a little bit better early at 1 mile and a 16th versus a shorter race prior to that. And then finally, number 4, Lavish Lifestyle. That's Terry's life right there. He is the what is it? What's the lifestyles of the rich and famous? They should just change it to the lifestyle of Terry. Anyway, decently bet in her debut and did nothing. Has 3 workouts since, including a nice 4 furlong workout at Keeneland. Gets Lasix here as well, and we'll see if the horse players sniff something out in the debut that gets fixed by the Lasix here. what was that guy's name? Robin. What was his name? The guy, Robin Leach. We should get him to introduce Terry. Remember race number 3, 1 mile. It's an allowance, $36,000. Non-winners have won lifetime for a purse of $36,000. Again, if we take a kind of idea with the kind of horse you want at 1 mile at Horseshoe Indianapolis, early speed, post positions 2 through 7 do best. And then this time out, the barbells are a negative. There's a small rail penalty, a small 8+ penalty. In race number 3, our way to the winner's circle worksheet. There are no scratches here. There should be plenty of early pace with the 1, the 5, and the 6 all having very similar early pace numbers. So those 3 should charge out of the gate. And then this lone PC horse back here, the 7, has a ton of late pace, a ton of an advantage with the early and late pace combination put together. It's going to chase down all these horses, Terry, in front of it that look like they got a lot of early speed. I think this one is going to get a perfect setup in this spot. What do you say?
I absolutely agree with you. I love number 7, Space Horse 1. He's my best bet of the day, and he's won 3 races in a row at Horseshoe Indianapolis. He just loves to win. He earned the highest last speed rating. And then number 3 is my second pick, Nit and Tuck. He has finished in the money in 4 out of the last 5 starts. He won 2 of those races, has a high percentage winning trainer. Then number 2, Rich Kingdom is my third pick, ran second versus similar in the last race, winning the previous race before that. And then number 1 is my fourth pick, CFV Bullet. He won his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis and has a high percentage winning jockey.
Number 7, Space Force 1. This race should really set up perfectly, as we saw on the way to the winner's circle. Lone PC horse with a plus late page edge, enough early pace to keep close. I think it's going to sit right off the leaders and just blow by him at the end. Number 5, Mansfield Tiger is the lone EP horse in this field. It's all or nothing. It's run 10 times, won 4 of them. Drops from 2 consecutive non-graded stakes races. And the last time the horse won at this level, it won. So I think this is the biggest danger to the 7 horse here, but maybe not. Terry don't have him at all. Number 3, Nip and Tuck. Last work was good for his first race since last September. Won his last race when he was fresh off the start like today. So short break, fresh horse, been a good combination. And number 5, Rich Kingdom was a tough call for me over the 1, but it's all in the name in here, Terry. Rich Kingdom coming off the maiden win in the 7th try versus this one that is 1 length away from winning 3 of his last 4, including a blowout at the state bred level. So this looks to me like not the 5 horse.
That should be number 2.
Yeah, the 2 horses performed better than the other horse that I was considering in here at a higher level. Race number 4, Terry, is a 6 furlong, claiming $25,000. Non-winners a 3 lifetime purse of only $24,000 in race number 4. On the way to the winner's circle for a 6 furlong, again, early speed. Post positions are fair, so you don't get any advantage no matter where you line up. Couple of horses scratched out of here, the 1 and the 5, so it takes out some of the early speed. Of the horses of this pack that want to be close to the front, the 7 horse and the 3 horse have some of the most early speed. The 7 horse also has some of the most late speed. You put them together, has a plus advantage for early speed and late speed combinations, so should run the most complete race of the horses that get out of the gates in a hurry. But you got this guy back here all by himself with a wall of speed in front of him. If they all go too fast, woo, he beats him to the finish line, Terry. What do you think?
Well, I like in this race, and I think it's pretty wide open. The number 2, Victor Still, is my first pick. He won his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis and earned the highest last race speed rating. Then I like number 7, Ferdinand. He finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race, and he drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then that closer, number 8, Looking at Justice. He was off for over a year, but he ran a really nice 3rd in his first race back. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then I like number 3 as my 4th pick, One Eye Johnny. He won his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis, and the same jockey returns to ride him again. All
righty. For race number 4, I am going to start off with the 7 horse in here. We've got a lot of 7s cooking here, Terry. We can do like at the casino, 7, 7, 7 in races 2, 3, and 4. Ferdinand should be close to the pace and has the second best late pace numbers in the group. The resume says that the second start off the break should be better than the first one, so expecting some improvement there. Number 2, Victor's Deal did run the top last race speed figure in the second start after more than a year in the barn. Maybe the horse does better in the third off of that long layoff. Number 8, Looking at Justice, a second race after more than a year in the barn as well, has the most late pace in the field versus a field of horses that want to be on the lead or pressure the lead. And it's going to get plenty of speed to chase here. Maybe not enough to win, but I think definitely a factor at the end. And then number 3, One Eye Johnny, might be involved from start to finish, and another that should try to improve in its third start after a layoff. If I remember correctly, and help me out here if I'm wrong, Terry, race 4, we did the early hot dog pick 4 in race 1, 2, 3, and 4. Is that right?
That's correct.
So here is, look at Terry with the magnet or horseshoe, going with what is that? 6x6?
Yes.
By 1 by 1?
Yes. I singled the second and third race. I'm really sure about the third, a little bit iffy about the second, but I figured that, some pretty wide open races in the first and the fourth. And you did almost like a horseshoe too, as I see. So
yeah, I just, that 7 horse did grade out pretty high for me, but the fact that it squared up against the one before and was considerably behind it did kind of concern me a little bit. So I went with the 2 and the 1 there. I do worry about the 7, but when you only have a $20 budget, you have to make choices. If you have a little bit more than a $20 budget, you might want to put the 7 in there in race number 2. The only other horse for me in race number 3 that was a consideration was the 5 horse, but I do like that 7. I do think he gets he should just get the trip he wants. And if you get the trip you want, it can really help you win a race. All right, race number 5. Hope we try to win some more. 5 furlongs maiden, $34,000. The purse is $34,000 as well. Again, real quickly, just to talk a little bit about the way to the winner's circle at 5 furlongs. As you can imagine, in these short sprints, early speed works. You get a nice bonus if you ride the rail or 8 and out. 2 through 7 are a little bit underperformers. In race number 5, we see here a race where the first-time starter is scratched out, the 4 horse in here. Otherwise, it's kind of a nice balanced race. The 1 horse does like to get to the lead. The 7 horse likes to close. Everybody else, and here's the middle. Get our first left arrow horse of the day with the 6. I don't know how much you'll factor, though, but that means its early pace figures are strong enough to take it from the middle of the pack and put it towards the front when the gates open, Terry. So when the gates open, we got a sense of how they're going to finish, but you tell us how you think they'll be at the wire.
Okay, well, I think Lily's Home, the number 2 horse, is going to win this. She's finished in the money in 4 out of 6 races this year, and she's ran second versus similar in her last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis. And then I like number 5, Gavinera. She drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 3 is my third pick, Slope. She has an early foot, has the highest last race speed rating, and a shorter distance should definitely help. And then number 1, Catch You Later, Mo. She drops in class today, and the rail post is winning at a 21% clip.
There's a lot of deep fields here today, Terry, so I'm not surprised that we don't have a lot of agreement today. Number 2, Lily's Home, Horseshoe Indianapolis, 5 times, 3 seconds, and a third, all in short sprints, so the horse should be in contention from beginning to end. Number 1, Catch You Later, Mo. Got to like that name. A bit too much, I think, off. Try to do a little bit too much last time out in a Keeneland $100,000 maiden special weight. Back to a level that fits here for the horse with the top early pace, late pace combination in the field. And if this one gets the lead, I think they might not catch it. So look out for the 1 to attempt to go wire to wire. Number 3, Ski Slope did run the top last race speed figure. Very limited resume. Only 1 time before did it make it a two races in a row. And that second start was better than the debut. So we'll see if that horse can improve. Did run the same fractions in the last race at 6 furlongs versus 5 furlongs in the previous start. So you run the same, go longer, that's faster. Number 6, For the Biscuit. This is my left arrow horse. Showed plenty of early pace in its debut. Track dropper from Churchill Downs. Gets first Lasix with EP, early pace. So that's one of my favorite combinations, Terry. Again, you see a horse that shows a lot of speed, Then it gets first time Lasix. Many times that horse performs exceptionally well. Race number 6, Terry, another 6 furlong race. This one is a maiden for special weight for $36,000. The way to the winner's circle for a 6 furlongs is early speed bias with no real determining factor laid out by the post positions. Again, an interesting race over here in race number 6. As we see, you have 3 horses here that want to pressure. No one that's usually up on the lead, although the 2, the 4, and the 7, they do have the most early pace. The 1, the 5, and the 9, these 3 have never, ever been close to even factoring. And then everybody else in here wants to kind of be in a chase position and close. So the 2, 4, and 7, if they can get to the front and run modest fractions, they could have a chance to be near the front all the way around the track, Terry. This is your box it up. So why don't you share with us your thoughts for your box it up?
All right. I like number 2, Anchor Man. He finished 3rd versus similar in his last race, has the highest last race speed rating. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Then number 4, Bolshire. Anyway,
Bolshie. We'll go with Bolshie.
Okay, Bolshie. He had trouble in his last race, being bumped and was taken up at the 5/8, so he lost all chance in that race and has a high percentage winning jockey. Then number 7, Mas Oro. He has an early foot and trainer jockey combination. The last 7 days have won 2 out of 4 starts.
Nothing wrong with more gold. That's the Mas Oro, right? More gold.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 4th pick is number 6, Vicious Rumor.
Vicious Rumor.
Yeah, Vicious Rumor. He had some minor problems in his last race. May improve with blinkers being added today.
All right, so that's Terry's box it up. 4 horses, put them together. Exacta box, trifecta box, superfecta box. Terry, what were those 4 numbers again? Let me just look real quick. 2, 4, 7, 6. So we'll pop these in here. 2, 4, 7, 6. For me, in race number 6, I am going to go ahead and start off with number 2, Anchor Manny as well. Did run the top last race speed figure with some of the most early pace in the field and also has an advantage at the end of the race. So has the plus late pace advantage. You cannot pass, but you cannot catch. Number 4, Bolshie is my second choice in here. Could be part of the early pace and has an opportunity to be better in the second career start. Just flipping around picks 3 and 4 here, Terry. I like Vicious Rumor as in the 3rd instead of the 4th pick. Numbers were better across the board in the internal. So if you look at the early, mid, and late part of the race, those pace figures were better. And that was the second career start with a Z pattern. So I think you'll see some improvement out of Vicious Rumor. And then finally, number 7, Mas Oro. Consistent performer that gets a helpful weight break in here today. So usually performs well. I think losing a couple of pounds to carry should up the performance for that consistent performer a little bit. Race number 7 is 1 mile in a 16th. This one's an allowance, $40,000 with a purse of $40,000. We haven't seen a mile in a 16th yet today, Terry. So you want a horse that has tactical speed with an edge for post positions 4 through 7. Way to the winner's circle worksheet for race number 7. This is a pretty convoluted race right here, Terry. You see the 8 and the 10. These 2 usually want to be up on the front, but they're not likely to get it because the 4, the 11, both of whom are left arrow horses, and the 7, pressure types and pressure closer types that have early pace that should put them close to the front when those gates open, and they have the late legs normally to carry them all the way through. All right, Terry, when it is through, who do you see as the winners?
Well, I like one of those left arrow horses, number 4, Dash of Simplicity. She ran second her last race. She has the highest last speed rating, and she switches to this high percentage winning jockey. And I like number 3 as my second choice, Harlan's Princess. She took off 2 months and then ran second in her return, and she has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 7 days been in the money 6 out of 8 times with 2 wins. Then number 2, Lieutenant Kitty. She ran second in her last race. She has a trainer jockey combination in the last 7 days have been in the money 50% of the time. And then number 8, V.E. Tia. She won her last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis, and she has a flaw. But she has a flaw. She either wins or she doesn't finish at all in the money.
So all or nothing horse. Those are some of my favorites because you just don't know which version you're going to get. And usually those all or nothings, when they show up, they do so at a decent price. This is my box it up in here again, race 6 and 7. So back-to-back boxes. Dash of Simplicity is one of those left arrow horses. The race internals were better from the beginning to the middle to the end in that last start, and did run some similar fractions at 6 furlongs versus 5.5 furlongs. So a lot of positives for Dash of Simplicity. Miss Love Shack is my other left arrow horse in here. The 11 should be involved from the beginning at Horseshoe Indianapolis 8 times with a couple of wins in a couple of seconds. So yeah, sort of one of those all or nothing horses, all maybe a second and then nothing. Number 2, Lieutenant Kenny. Why is this one red and white? That don't make any sense to me, Terry. Should look a little bit more like this. But there you go. Lieutenant Kenny, the 2 horse. Better across the board. Another one that showed in race improvement last time out and did run better fractions at 1 mile and a 16th than it did in the prior start at 1 mile and 70 yards. And finally, number 3, Harlan's Princess. It's the lone EP horse that should be better in round 2 off the bench, and has liked the distance, going out 6 times with a couple of wins and a couple of seconds. Race number 8 as we move along in this very long card today at Horseshoe Indianapolis, Terry. 6 furlongs, claiming 5,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime. The purse is for $12,500. Again, 6 furlongs, just real quickly. Early speed, the post positions are fair. And in race number 8, we see here that got some scratches in this one too. The 14, which was also eligible, is not in. The 1 horse got whacked out. The 9 horse got whacked out. The 11 horse is also whacked out. The 13, the lone PC horse, which really scares me in this spot, Terry, is in. We get another left arrow horse with the 5, one of those pressure horses with enough early speed to maybe put it on the lead, at least challenge the 2. I feel like this race is absolutely wide open, Terry, in race number 8. So why don't you walk us through how, it's wide open to me. What do you think?
All right. Well, you didn't talk about the horse I like in first. That's number 4, Just a Simple Girl. She has won 2 out of the last 3 races, has a trainer jockey combination who has won 2 out of the last 3. And then I like number 3 as my second pick, Cross the Line. She finished 3rd versus similar to her last race, has the highest last race speed figure, and today's distance will be no problem for her. She has the best dirt speed among today's starters. Then number 10, Expect the Boss. She finished 3rd versus tougher in her last race and drops in class today. And then my final pick is number 6, Lucky Wise. She has a trainer who in the last 14 days has a record of 5 wins out of 10 starts. And the trainer wins 28% of all the dirt starts he has a horse in.
I like the 3 horse cross the line. Hopefully it crosses the line first as my long shot in here. Might be better in the second start after a layoff, and has performed pretty well at Horseshoe Indianapolis. 9 times out, a win, a couple seconds in a trio of thirds. Number 5 is my third choice here. Admirals. Garnett is a left arrow horse that just needs to run back a couple of races. His last race was better than it looks on paper, with better fractions at 6 furlongs versus 5.5 furlongs. Number 4, Just a Simple Girl. Did run the best last race speed figure. I'm worried a touch, though, about a pop and a possible drop with some regression, because that last speed figure was so much better than anything else that the horse has done before. But if it can repeat that effort, probably gets the win here. Number 2, Sweet Ginger. Going to take a flyer here, Terry. Has a little bit of early pace. Had a decent workout between races, and gets a 10-pound weight break today. So maybe that early pace, a little bit of time off, and a big drop in terms of weight carried can make a big difference. Race number 9 is the next on this very long card. 1 mile, made in $34,000. Again, 1 mile to the winner's circle. You probably want a horse that has a little bit of early speed, and at the same time, between posts 2 through 7, the rail and 8 and out are slightly penalized, Terry. Let's go to overlook at race number 9 and what our way to the winner's circle sheet looks like here. We see the 2 horses scratched, and then you got a lot of horses here that want to be towards the back of the pack. A few up front. It looks to me like the 7 horse is another left arrow horse in here. Has a plus early pace advantage at 2 furlongs and 4 furlongs, so could be up on the lead. Got a couple of other horses here in the middle that should factor well because they should get trips that they like right behind the speed, ahead of the wall of closers, get the trip that they want. Who's going to get the trip that you like the most, Terry?
Well, I like the number 6, Jolly Tommy. He ran second versus similar in his last race, and the shorter distance should help him. And he has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Then number 9, Jealous Eyes, is my second pick. He's a closer, will try and catch the front runners, and he's returning to dirt, which I think is a plus. And then number 1, Prince Shem. He has plenty of early speed and has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like number 8 as my fourth pick, Versatile. He returned to the dirt in his last race and ran a fourth with blinkers added today. He may perform better today.
All right. So for me in race number 9, this thoroughbred race, I'm going to start off with number 6, just like you. Jolly Tommy. Losing a little distance, I think that helps this horse that has the plus early pace, late pace advantage in the field. So should run the most complete race. Number 4, Hurry On Out. Horse is maybe a track dropper. Did run the top last race speed figure last time out by a decent margin at Keeneland. I think this one could lift that number in the second start after a layoff. Number 9, Jealous Eyes, is that lone PC type in there. Should get a trip that works to its advantage, sit right behind some of the slower early pace types, and then has the late legs to close the show. And then this one is flipping from turf to dirt, which is a 23% angle for trainer Cheryl Weinbaugh. She normally wins at 15%, so alpha angle for her. And then finally, number 7, this is Kinnison. This is another left arrow horse in here for me. Been off for more than a year, has a ton of early speed, and gets first-time Lasix. So if the horse is ready to run, shows that early speed, the Lasix could help it finish this race out. Race number 10, as we are running out of words, Terry, another 6-furlong race where early speed matters. Got to have post position, doesn't really make much of a difference in race number 10. Here we see another race that's kind of barbelled approach. You have some early speed and then horses that prefer to be in the back. Not a whole lot in the middle. Of the early speed types, the 5 and the 7 should duel for the lead. Coming on the way home, the 3 horse has the most late pace and has an advantage if you combine early pace and late pace together, Terry. Take us away for your thoughts on race number 10.
Well, I like that number 3 horse, Jova. Finished in the money in 3 out of the last 4 starts and won one of those races. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Then number 2, Bonnie Bill, is my second pick. Won his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis, and he earned the highest last speed rating. Then I like number 5, Flower Pecker. Hey, that's a cute name.
Be careful, Terry. This is a horse racing show.
I know. He finished third in his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 7, Capti Fugo. He won his last race at Horseshoe International.
All right. Race number 10, as we wind down to the end of this card here, I like number 3, too. This horse race should set up well for Jova. Very consistent performer. Is a pressure closer type, as we mentioned, and has that advantage if you combine the early part and the late part. Flower Pecker, faster fractions in its last race with a huge improvement with the 2 and 4 furlong pace numbers. So if it can run that again, should be really much a factor all the way around the track, though I do worry about a little bit of a regression here. Number 7, Cap de Fuego, plenty of early speed, should be on the gas from go to photo, in the money, 8 out of 11 at the distance. 1 win, 4 seconds and 3/3, so more likely to clean up the gimmicks than to lead it. And then finally, number 2, Bonnie Bill, did run the top last race speed figure. The distance for me is the key here, Terry. 4 times out, 2 wins, a second and a third. It's tried other distances 8 times with just 1 win and nothing else behind it. The last of the thoroughbred races is race 11. It's another 6-furlong race, Terry. Again, 6 furlongs, early speed, doesn't really matter which post position you get in this allowance $41,000 race. But what does matter is the way that the race might shape out here. And you have a pretty balanced race, Terry. 2 that want to be on the front, a couple that want to be a trio that want to be in the middle and chase, and then 4 on the back end that want to close. Of those early speed types, keep an eye on this 5 horse, Terry. does have an early pace advantage at 2 furlongs. So at the quarter-mile marker, should be on the lead or at least pressuring for the lead. And at the half-mile marker, has almost a 10-point advantage. So it could be as much as a length and a half of everybody else with just 2 furlongs to go. When they finish those 2 furlongs, Terry, will the 5 hold on, or do you have something else in mind?
In the 11th, I like the number 9, Pickle Feet. He has the best start speed among today's starters. His trainer-jockey combination last 7 days, as I said previously, has won 2 out of 4 starts, and he has a really good workout on November 11th. Then I like that number 5, my second choice, Shooter Justice. He has an early foot, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then number 3 is my third pick, Casper Justice. He had a nice third place finish in his last race, and the distance won't be a problem for him.
Who's that second pick again, Terry? Sorry.
Number 5, Shooter Justice.
All right. Sorry. I was looking at Barry. He doesn't like quarter horses either, Barry. I don't mind them. They're just hard. If they come out and they smash into each other like bumper cars at the amusement park, and you just don't know what you're going to get at the finish line. All right. Who's the fourth pick, Terry?
Number 7, Bluegrass Prayer. He could not last on the lead in the last race, which was a mile and 16th. Now he cuts back to 6 furlongs. That might just be the ticket for him to win this one.
Number 9, Pickle Feet. Wonderful name there. Drops from a $100,000 non-graded stakes race, cutting back in distance, which I think is a big plus for this horse. And if you look at the early, the middle, and the late part of the race, the horse has a plus advantage over everybody else. Should be able to run the race at once. Number 5, Shooter Justice does have that early pace advantage all the way through the first half mile. Was a favorite last time. Got beat, but trainer Randy Klopp rebounds at 25% the next time around the track with chalk that got crushed versus 20% overall. So another alpha angle. Number 2, Grand in Bay. Ran the top last race. Speed figure was considerably better through the first half mile of the race. Usually has some of the most late pace as well. So if a horse tried to improve last time that normally comes off the pace, try to be a little bit more involved from the beginning, could be a good combination here today. And then finally, number 7, Bluegrass Prayer. Fast dirt, 6 times out, 1 win, a couple of seconds, a couple of thirds. We should have a fast track today. And another one that benefits from having to run a little bit less today than it did the last time out. This also is our prime rib pick for it with the end of the thoroughbred races. Terry, you're going to go 3 by 4 by 3 by 5. That's your thinking here today, Terry?
Yes, that's right. I think almost all these races are pretty wide open. So I kind of tried to spread as much as possible, figuring the 11th was the most wide open, even though the 9 is your best bet of the day. And so that's how my thinking.
Well, I was looking at a couple of other horses for the best bet of the day, but I felt like when the odds came out that they would be probably 4 to 5 when the post position opened. I feel like the 9 won't have that happen. So yesterday, my best bet went off at 5 to 2 and it won. So I'm hoping today to kind of repeat that same. So I feel like the 6 horse was the other one in race number 9. I was considering being a best bet for me, but I got a feeling that one's going to be like, I don't know, maybe 6 to 5, somewhere in there. So it was a toss up between those two. That's why I went with 3 horses in race number 9 instead of 3 horses in race number 11 in my prime rib pick 4. All right, Terry, the last pick of the day is race number 12. This is the lottery ball popcorn type races where the horses just come bouncing out in these quarter horse races when the gates open. It's 330 yards at the end of that short sprint. Who's going to be the winner and who's going to be behind it?
Okay, well, I like number 9, Eagle Joy. He won his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis. And then number 6 is my second pick, Governor K. You know, he broke slow in his last race, and with a better break, he will be a lot more competitive today. Number 4 is my third pick, Country Celebration. She won her last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis, and she seems to always be right there at the end. And then number 8 is my fourth pick, Just Give Me a Kiss. Terrible break at last race, so I will throw that one out. Should do better as he likes this track.
Well, I'm going to go the 4, the 5, the 2, and the 9, and let's see when the balls come out of the bubble gum machine like on the lottery if I have won the pick 4 for the thoroughbred. I mean, for the quarter horse race there. All right, so long card today, Terry. Here are our full picks today for Horseshoe Indianapolis. You can see in race number 1, Terry coming out swinging with that 5 horses. It's long shot. 15-1 morning line. I think it's mispriced as well. Terry's best bet is in race number 3 with that 7 horse. I think that 7 horse is a standout as well. Race number 8 is my long shot with the 3 horse. I was also considering the 6 horse as a best bet, but landed on the 9 because I feel like in race 11, you're going to get the best odds there. Terry's box it up. Race number 6, 4 horses, $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. I'm in race number 7. So we are back-to-back boxes. And then we're going to do the barbell pick 4s. We're going to go race number 1 to start off with the hot dog pick 4. Terry really going big on the top and big on the bottom. And I'm kind of doing the same thing. Both of us are going to live and die on the 7 horse in race number 3. Should get a fantastic trip. And then the back end, the last 4 thoroughbred races. Terry's going to do 3x4 by 3x5. I'm going to go 4x3 by 4x4. Hopefully cash my second prime rib ticket in a row. If you're looking to cash some tickets today at the Finger Lakes, it is the free track today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There's a link down in the description below. Please go ahead and click on that, and you will see at Finger Lakes in race number 1. Yeah, the 3-2, no big deal. But let your light shine. Great advice for this day. To let your light shine is the top choice. And if you're going to do a little bit of college basketball, hockey, make sure you head over to the picks from the professor. Professor Sides is a statistics professor, actually knows what he's doing with these math models. There's a link again down in the description below if you're going to do a little bit of college basketball, which is in full swing today, Terry. We have a pretty big card today at Horseshoe Indianapolis. We did 12 races, 41 minutes, Terry. Hey, great work, my friend. You're on mute.
Really, yeah, it was really good work. Yeah, I think we went through there pretty quickly. Last time we did a 12 race card, it took us 52 minutes. So
probably, yeah, we probably were still working on it when the races were over. Tomorrow, I will be back with Charles. We'll do Churchill Downs on Thanksgiving morning. Get up, start your day with us. I mean, what more can you want to do? Be with your horse racing family on Thanksgiving when we'll do Fairgrounds on their opening day. Make sure you check that out. Tonight, again, join Sean and the wonderful Jamie Martinez with Maddie Rowland. Going to be another fantastic show at 8 o'clock. The best way to make sure you 8 p.m. Eastern. The best way to make sure you don't miss any of that is follow us, as you see on the scroller below, at our social sites, Horse Race, the number 2 day. And then, of course, hit the like button on Facebook, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Thumbs up are appreciated across the board. And that takes us through the day. Terry, any final thoughts before we get out of here today?
Well, just don't eat too much turkey, but eat enough and have a great time. Hope you enjoy your family on Thanksgiving. Everybody be safe the rest of this week, and let's get some winners.
And I agree with that last horse's name. Let your light shine today, folks. Let your light shine today. Smile. Make the people around you happier. All right, Terry, that wraps it up for today. No matter what you're doing, as you prepare for the Thanksgiving, hey, if you're watching those World Cup games, man, the U.S. really blew one yesterday. They should have won. But let's hope that they get through and beat England, right? And then go ahead and beat Iran. Advance into the World Cup. But no matter what else it is you're doing today, the teams you're rooting for or the horses that you've picked, Terry, we want them to all end up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this Terry Tuesday. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.